Welcome sa atin nga chapter 3 sa atin lesson. Okay, so for our lesson here, focuses on God's ability to believe. Is it believe? Wait for a moment. Yeah. First one is faith, promise, and then power of God. No, power of God. Sorry. Okay, and this Bible verse is in the book of Genesis chapter 17 verse 5, verses 21, 22, and probably 23. Okay, so as again, before the lesson of this chapter, you'll be given two pages for the summarization of the story. So please read. I encourage everyone to please read and to study it. Okay, and before the lesson proper, we will have some activities here. Okay, show me what you are capable of. All the people of the faith have gathered. You're welcome. Let's say hello to your friends. And this activity requires very small skills. Please prepare the activity sheet for the lesson 3 of your manual. Now, please look at the learning center to activity. And this one, mayroon kita tatlo ka activity diri. Okay, the first one here, it says, who blinked first? So, two groups, maybe makuha ta representative sa mga kabataan, arang hindi mamisok bala, paano padugay-dugay nga hindi mamisok, amo na siyang first activity. Ang second one is, hold your breath for a long time. Kung sinong pinaka-lawig mag-hold some breath. So, makuha lang ta, guro, one participant each group, or maybe makuha divide two groups, then makuha lang ta sang representative kay para hindi magdugay kay may ara lang ta an hour sa aton nga lessons, and amo na siya may mga tuwa pa ta ka activities, so para ma-maximize natin nga time. And the third part here is the rock, paper, scissors. Okay. Papel, gunting, bato. Wala siya. And then talk about people's abilities and consider to have a good power. So, amo nang games sa first part. Okay, and for the introduction of the story, may ariman din siya, people have many abilities. And however, there is a limit to what people have. No one is good at everything and has endless abilities. However, some people say, isn't there a limit in God's power? I think, what do you think about God's power, and what attitude should we have towards God's power? Let's find through the stories in the Bible. So this is a continuation of the story of Abraham. So first part, faith, and then the promise, nga may gaan siya sa Ginoo sang offspring, numerous. Okay, and then and this part, may araw naman katatili sang illustration. This one. Okay, this is the first part of the story. So Abraham is 99. It's here. You can just read it. And Sarah is 89 years old, but still they didn't have any children, and they couldn't have children anymore because they're old, of course. 99 kag 89, paano ka pa makabata? Wala menopause siguro before. Kidding. So one day, God changed Abram's name to Abraham. So this is the time that God changes Abram's name into Abraham. And then he said, Abraham, call Sarah your wife. Now, I will bless Sarah so that she may give birth to a son. And then, Abraham was here. Muna ni si Abraham kag si Sarah, old na sila. White hairs. And then, Abraham, who was lying on his stomach, listening to God's word, and laughed. Naglaugh siya. Okay? And thought to himself, I'm about to be 100 and Sarah will be 90 years old. So how can I have a child? Then he said, God, I want Ishmael to be blessed. Okay? So Ishmael was Abraham's son born to someone else. Okay, this time Ishmael is Abraham's sons to other women. And then Abraham thought that he could not have any more children with Sarah. They doubted God's power, and God knew that Abraham doubted God's power, so he said, "No, I don't. Sarah, your wife, will give birth to a son. When you give birth to a son, you must call his name Isaac. I will make a promise with your son Isaac." So after that, okay, this is the third picture. God gave Abraham Sarah's son and promised when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah at that time was 90 years old. Okay, and then after that, Genesis chapter 18 verse 14. Okay, the Bible says, "I will return to you when the time comes."